And we're off.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello to family, friends, and viewers. Welcome to the Dardar and Andy Show.
It's a live stream about nothing.
Sometimes about current events.
Yeah. We'll work on it.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to come up with our tagline.
Right.
It's going to be, something like, it's a weekly live stream about nothing.
Weekly live stream about nothing. Yeah, that's
but
right.
sometimes current events.
Yeah. But something like that.
Yeah. So we it's a little bit of homage to the Seinfeld show. And then we kind of structured some stuff around it.
It's a little bit of homepage.
So welcome and thank you for joining us.
Once again.
Yes, so we haven't seen you since last Tuesday, and obviously a lot has happened in the world since then.
Really?
Yeah, like a shit ton.
I don't know. Nothing happens in my life.
What's the most important thing that's happened this week?
Steelers are 8-0.
No, that's not the most important thing that happened this week.
Oh,
The little thing called the...
Alex Trebek died. You notice he died after Sean Connery.
I know. Did you see that meme?
No.
He says when two competitive personalities, one of them dies first.
Yeah.
And it's the guy playing Sean Connery on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Tag, suck it, Trebek.
Shock it. Shock it. Shock it
That
long.
was hilarious.
Shock it good.
I was going to send it to you when you were working. I was like, I can't bother him with this.
Not while I'm working.
But it was funny. So I didn't realize they had a big, competition going. I didn't know that they were like rivals.
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
It's just from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay. It's just from that sketch.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only reason.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know why that sketch exists, right?
So that Norm
Don
Macdonald
could do Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
That's the only reason that sketch. And what's they stole the show. Will Ferrell was out. Alex Trebek was genius.
Yes.
And then who played? Is it? Oh, geez, I guess I should have looked that up. Who played Sean Connery?
Well, it's not on the agenda, so we didn't know we were going to be talking about it.
Yeah,
Who played Sean Connery? It was one of the Saturday Night Live regulars.
Yes.
But I can't picture him underneath the makeup. Especially after that meme is just like emblazoned in my brain.
I remember who he is because he's one of the guys that's kind of come out about having like mental difficulties. The actor.
Really?
Yeah.
That could be a lot of them.
Right now, anyway, this guy's been sort of public about it. But anyway, yeah. So.
Well, that could also be a lot.
It'll come. Yeah.
Not Pete Davidson. He wasn't around back
he wasn't around back then.
But no, we want to talk a little bit about the election.
The U.S. election, yes,
US
general election,
presidential election.
yes. Yeah.
I mean, you had a lot to say about it last week. So.
Well, things kind of went down the way I sort of thought they would, right?
No, you absolutely called it.
Well, I mean,
you called it. You said when they close the polls, it's gonna be called for Trump. Mm-hmm. Preliminarily call for Trump.
Yeah, you'll be ahead, right?
And then as the mail-in votes were counted, there'd be a slow uptick.
Like when most of the people voted.
And the Biden counts.
That's the way elections work.
And they would eventually,
Crazy.
the Biden count would, surpass the Trump counts, and
Yes.
Biden would win.
Well, it was, we needed time for the Clinton Pelosi, machine to, start moving and start planting all those fake ballots everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do.
I was.
I do.
What?
Well, it's just.
I don't even know what you're saying
It's just
right now.
ridiculous. I mean, anyway, because when it all comes down, the margins that when all the counting is done, the margins where that Biden took a lot of these states for is was wider than you probably could have fudged. I think. Well, I think all of them are going into recounts anyway.
Yeah, they're all going into recounts, but I think. I mean, I don't know why you would want to fuel that kind of crap.
I'm not fueling it.
I don't know why you say that.
I'm obviously being sarcastic.
You're not obviously being sarcastic. I couldn't even figure out why you were saying that.
I am being sarcastic.
And I know you.
I don't believe that there is a Clinton Pelosi fraud machine. working. I sincerely do not believe that. I'm just trying to make jokes. I did tag the live stream as being a comedy, so I think
Entertainment.
entertainment.
I think we're arts and entertainment.
I think we're news
I'm
attainment.
arts and you're entertainment.
No, you're nutso and I'm the butso.
That's in the butt. So,
Yeah.
well, I was, obviously the first day you wake up after the election, and every time in history that I remember no, there was the Gore Bush where there was the whole recount happening in
Right.
Florida where that kind of drug on.
Yeah.
But usually pretty quickly who the new president's going to be. This
Right.
was weird, like waking up every day looking for news on like what was happening. So I'm glad it's been.
Well, see what I knew was gonna. So what I knew was gonna happen is that as soon as any state called any state under whatever you call it. What are the states called? Not the.
What are the states called?
The states that they're the combat states.
The swing states?
The swing states. Any of the swing states was called for Biden. I knew that El Trumpo was going to get on and talk about how the whole thing was fake news.
Yeah.
And that the election process was rigged.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen. But what I didn't know was, and I didn't know how quickly all the majority of Republicans, the ones who count anyway, just said, you know what, you're on your own, dude.
Yeah.
That happened pretty quick. And the fact that Fox News was the first, I'm like,
Oh, they jumped that ship.
yeah, I was like,
Right.
they got a call from Murdoch saying, what, Trump's not our boy anymore. They just pulled the plug.
Yeah.
Just let him circle the drain.
Yeah. Well,
So-
what I'm concerned about. Well, first of all, I'm very, very relieved. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulder because, and I'm sure a lot of Americans feel like that. Feel like the strife is going to decrease over,
Yes.
the coming months, and everybody can kind of get out of that fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have been living in that fight or flight mode, particularly with the pandemic being compounded on top of all of this.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to just the peace that will hopefully come in the few months. And as far as I'm concerned, like whatever's going to happen in the next 70 days, I think all of Trump's negative speak and his tweeting and all of that is going to be just hiding whatever he's doing behind the scenes for the next 70 days, because I'm sure he's planning his exit strategy. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to have to go there and drag him out of the White House kicking and screaming. I think he's just using his, alarmist.
You mean like Putin's fixing up the guest house for him over there in
Yeah, I don't know.
Moscow?
But he's definitely planning his exit. And
Yeah.
and when he has all of those plans laid out, I mean, he'll be gone.
So, and what you said is that you're glad that, so maybe like maybe the negativity we'll lose some of the negativity that we've had in the political narrative. And
Well, 50% of Americans will, right? 50% of Americans will, but there's 50% of the Americans are now having that, having that anxiety. I mean, it's
Sure.
just shifted to the other half of the population.
the difference is that the president-elect is not the sort of person who gets his rocks off by getting people pissed off.
Absolutely not.
That's not.
Yeah, he's not a hate speaker.
Well, I don't, hate speak, whatever. I mean, that to me, it's that term can be manipulated. Let's just say something that I think Trump really, his real power was in being entertaining, and divisive.
Absolutely.
And I think that
He's an entertainer above all else.
and Biden is definitely not divisive, and he's certainly not an entertainer.
Right.
He is a good man who is, and I obviously giving him the benefit of the doubt. He's going to take the office with good intentions to do the best he can for the country.
And I think with the best intentions of doing the best he can for all Americans.
For all Americans,
And hopefully that will create some unity among Americans.
I like, and Trump's, And I know that people say, well, a lot of people are going to say, well, there's nothing that tells you that Biden's not out in it for himself. I get it, but Trump said he was in it for himself. So, and then everything that he did after that just showed the world that that's the only thing that mattered to the guy. I mean, he told us that the only thing that mattered to him, and he went ahead and was good to his word.
Yeah.
So,
well, he's very good at reinventing himself.
Yeah.
From a real estate developer to a casino mogul to reality star TV, and then The Apprentice, White House edition.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what he's going to be next. This will be interesting to see. But
well, at least
I don't ever have to listen to him again after. I don't ever have to hear his weird little voice again or watch his weird little lips move.
I'm just glad that, and if hopefully the next 70 days he doesn't decide he wants to play the part of thermonuclear warrior,
Well, who knows what's going to happen. I hope that he's being monitored closely, you know, because I don't think he'll start a nuclear war, but I think that there could possibly be things, up for sale, coming out of America. So.
Well, so he fired this guy, the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
His handpicked Secretary of Defense, he fired.
Yeah.
The reason that he fired, at least this is what the lamestream media is saying, the reason that they fired, and I'm being sarcastic, the reason that he fired him is because they butted heads on whether or not it is appropriate to use our military, not the National Guard, but our standing military, to quell domestic protests. And I am...
Well, and the guy said no.
No, the guy said no.
You can't do that.
That's because he's not a fucking lunatic.
That's, that's not what we build a military for, is to use against its own citizens.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, other countries do that. The countries that have despots in charge of them.
Dictatorships.
Yeah. That's not what you do in America. And it's like, and you can't tell me that the cops have run out of guns because we gave them all to the cops. Yeah. Right. So all that Trump wanted to use the U.S. military inappropriately was to intimidate people. That's disgusting. It's absolutely despicable. And it's just,
Well, you know what? He's out.
He's out.
He's out.
Well, you got 72 days. So.
And, I think what really sucks about the whole thing is that in the last 4 years, entire families have been burned to the ground. Friendships have been burned to the ground over if you think that the guy doesn't create divisiveness, I mean, look at how many times you've seen this happen in people's lives. Yeah. People have lost longtime friendships, family members. Yeah. That's the insanity there is politics. It's been a tradition that you say you don't talk about sex, politics, and money. Religion. That's what it is. And many generations of Americans have withstood conflict regarding politics in their relationships. Yeah. But you just agree not to talk about it, or you deal with it in your own way. Families didn't stop being families because they disagreed on politics. Yeah. Friends didn't stop being best friends because they disagreed on politics. Why all of a sudden in this 4 years was it so different?
Because because everybody can go and cherry pick the media that they consume on both sides of the argument, let's be fair, and find out why the other side is so reprehensible.
Yeah. Well, the media is always, for many years has reported, biased news. Sure. I mean, journalism has been, dwindling over many decades.
They're fighting for eyeballs, and it's like, and they're
advertisers.
Yeah, for for the sake of advertising, and there's more people on Earth than ever, and they're consuming more media than ever, and
so you just have to wonder, like, people following the media and the politics, and why would you give up relationships you've had all your life based on people's lies or just their opinions or things that are all temporary? Because all that's gone now.
Because the Black Mirror is like most people's best friends these days, It's all the family they need. It's just those devices that they stare at, and and you can tailor what comes out of that thing to such an extent that you'll just get validated over and over and over again. And if you lean one side or the other a little bit,
the message is going to tilt.
It's going to tilt you.
Towards you.
It's going to tilt you.
It's going to tilt toward you.
Yeah.
But maybe a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right.
Yeah. And then
And pull you along.
Pull you along. And then, before you know it, you're yelling at your parents about something that you really didn't give a shit about 2 years ago. But now all of a sudden you're politically active. You're
Well,
like,
this is what I really hope for the next 4 years is that a lot of those relationships will be revisited and mended because, whatever happened in that last 4 years isn't worth giving up.
Yeah.
Lifetimes of friendship and, family and, it's just, I think the next 4 years just has to be a time of healing.
Has to be.
Because I saw it. I've only been on Facebook personally for like 6-7 months. And I just saw relationships, like I was saying, like people just
implode.
Yeah, and just start blocking everybody. So I hope everybody can relax a little bit and maybe go back and revisit some of the people you've cut out of your life.
Yeah. And
because these are people you love.
Yeah, purportedly. And that's the thing. It's like that was my main beef with Trump. I'm not going to argue matters of policy with them. But I will argue the fact that he's divisive. He's a threat to national security, and that he does not represent the best of what America has to offer. And move on from there. If regarding his politics, you pin him down on his politics. I dare you.
Yeah.
I dare you. But people conflate again. I mean, I don't know why. I've talked about it enough. Trump does not equal Republicans.
Well, what is your expectation for the next 4 years? What is your hope, your expectation, what's the best you can?
I think that there's going to be a faction in the center, right? The center, both the center left and the center right, that are going to try to mend fences and try to get the government back on its feet and moving forward. I think that there are people on both sides of the aisle who would rather put politics ahead of, say, defeating COVID, right? But I think that cooler heads will prevail and we'll move forward. Well, what we will not have anymore is this megaphone at the top, just blaring down, because nobody else, like McConnell, he's not a speaker, and nobody on the right, to a certain extent on the left at this point, certainly on the extremes, can really get people in a lather. And I think that I could do with about 3 years of people not being in a lather. That would be great. Because if all it's nobody's, getting a lather on one side, there's who gives a shit? It's like we're just an ant pissing on an elephant's toenail.
Well, that's what you started seeing towards the end of the election cycle, I think, before election day, there was a lot more people with the attitude like, no matter who becomes president, the next day I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna make breakfast for my children. On Sunday I'll be at church,
Right.
I'm gonna play in my, softball league. Life is just really gonna go on no matter who becomes president, but you're just not gonna have all of that negative messaging screaming in your ear all the time.
From the top, right?
Yeah.
And that's because there's gonna be plenty of the negative messaging.
Yes, but mostly done by the media.
Yeah, it's going to be done by, dickheads who are trying to sell you, life insurance at the same time. Not somebody who's trying to sell you themselves as well.
Well, look at like that. What is that? The whole survivalist movement,
right?
With people building bunkers and arming them and stocking them, and an entire industry has just blossomed over that. Just scaring people into the end of times. And it's like insanity.
Well, but I think that having an emergency preparedness plan is super important.
Yes.
And knowing how to be self-reliant is super important. Right. And having an understanding that, you your infrastructure, some of your infrastructure can get yanked out from under you. It won't be due to civil unrest. It'll be because the fucking power grid fails or whatever. But you know,
Well, even you and I,
Yeah.
in our simple lifestyle here,
Yeah.
we have
a
an
plan.
exit strategy in case we need to,
Yeah.
extricate ourselves from some situation.
Love to, the stat I would love to see is how many people have this massive survival bunker, and at the same time they have like more than $100,000 in debt. It's like, which one do you think is a more immediate danger to you?
Right.
You know?
Well, they probably spent that $100,000
Yeah, that's what I
building
mean.
their, yeah.
Yeah, making, putting together their survival bullshit. Fucking AK-47s are not cheap.
Yeah.
I
don't know how much
AR
costs.
AK-47s are cheap, but an AR-15 will run like $1,500.
Yeah.
And you need 4.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, one for each family member.
One for each family member. Yeah.
And I don't know, in the hill country in Texas, it costs a lot of money to dig a bunker out of limestone to put your semi-container in.
Well, because you don't want your bunker somewhere ugly.
Yeah.
You got to have some nice hill country real estate.
That real estate isn't cheap.
Is not cheap. Yeah. So I'm saying it's like.
Oh, and yachts. They're building yachts and selling these massive yachts that are self-contained for X number of years that you can buy and have that as your backup strategy. Those people probably aren't in any debt.
No, they're not in debt. You can't get a yacht loan if you're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. But, it's like it's a lot more dangerous to be in debt and not have, 3 months worth of expenses squirreled away somewhere, because you're much more likely to lose a job than you are for the zombie apocalypse to come.
The zombie apocalypse. So how are you feeling about the results of the election, like going forward?
I thought they were worse than I expected, or not as good as I expected. How's that?
Yeah.
They were not as good as I expected. I thought that we were gonna have a clear mandate to cast that son of a bitch out. We didn't. And then at the same time, we lost ground on both the House and the Senate.
Yes.
So from that perspective, not awesome.
Yeah.
However, I think that Madam Vice President has a beautiful ring to it.
Yes.
Thrilled that happened. So, what? I love that Trump hasn't conceded. It just tickles me pink, because to the end.
Yes. Well, like I said, I think he's just ringing the bell, so everybody will look at the shiny thing instead of looking at what he's actually doing over here.
Well, they should start catching up with the Trumps right now at the White House.
Yes.
So
that was Andy's idea. I was like, what do you envision that would be like great for Trump, like when he leaves the White House? Like, what would he transition to?
Yeah.
And Andy said, I think they need to have a keeping up with the Trumps.
Keeping up with the Trumps, not catching up. Yeah.
Yes. Keeping up with the Trumps. He's like, the Kardashians made billions of dollars doing it.
You can make some real money.
Trump's going to need to be making some money. He can get all his kids involved.
You can invite Putin over,
He can do anything he wants and nobody's even going to question it.
Yeah. No, it's something more powerful than government. It's TV.
I'm sure he'll be something with TV.
Well, he's going to start his own channel.
Oh, okay.
Trump
like
TV.
Oprah.
Yeah, like Oprah. Exactly the same.
Okay. Except she'll probably always be more popular and make more money.
What's funny is they'll probably book a lot of the same guests.
Yes.
And you're like,
yeah.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
It's all the same garbage.
It's all entertainment. It's all entertainment.
Yeah.
Much like us.
Much like us. We have a bigger budget.
Yes. What was hilarious when you were talking about, well, we didn't do as well as I had hoped, and I thought there would be a bigger blowout, because that was my really great transition right into the here we go Steelers.
Here we go. Let's talk about that.
So we went to Dallas this week to see the Steelers play.
We went to Jerry World.
We did go to Jerry World. And right into the heart of the Republican Party. Into the belly of the beast, if you will.
If you will. And it was us and what I'd say about 12,000 fellow Mexican Americans, right? They're cheering for the Steelers.
I don't know because we can break it down. Like,
Yeah.
how many people did you say were in the stadium?
They allowed 1/4 capacity, so that the stadium holds 110,000 people.
Okay, so
So,
there was 25,000,
yeah,
say
25.
26,000, 27,000
Yeah.
people. And I would venture to say 50% of the people there were Steeler fans.
Yes.
That's just a guess because, I saw a ton of terrible towels. Like, you look across the stadium.
Yeah, you saw black and yellow everywhere.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if they keep those numbers or.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, the commentators were certainly talking about it,
Well, we need to watch the game, the whole
Okay.
playback of the game, because even though I love seeing the Steelers play, when we see them live at away games on the Jumbotron and stuff, you never get to see any of your team. It's just all their team, their coaches, their players, their team doing this and their team doing that.
Yeah, it's on the
Oh my God, and the Dallas cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders.
Don't even get me started. There's like 100 of them.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I thought there was 10 or 12 girls that were the Dallas Cowgirl cheerleaders, or Cowboy cheerleaders.
Yeah.
But when you get there, there's like rows and rows and rows of them.
Yep. Yeah.
There's something. So that's all on the Jumbotron. So it's just all Cowboys crap.
And they have a dance team.
They have a dance team and 2 sets of cheerleaders, even though there's a lot of who's-my-fudge around
Which set you get to be on?
who gets to be called the cheerleader, and then the other things they have. But it was a spectacle. The stadium is freaking beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah.
I mean, isn't it awesome?
It is
just
eye-wateringly
incredible.
gorgeous, yeah.
It's incredible. The retractable roof, and they had it like partially open, and the sun's like beaming in, and the Jumbotron's like the biggest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's mesmerizing. It's so hard for you to look down at the
I'd actually watch the game
and
as you're
watch the
supposed to.
live play
Yeah.
on the field. I kept having to remind myself to, we're at a live game.
Yeah.
Look at the teams on the field.
We had great seats too.
Our seats were great. They were on maybe the 45.
Yeah.
And it was just incredible being there. And the atmosphere, there were so many Steeler fans, and everywhere you went in town and then in the stadium, everybody was so friendly, and it was great. It was awesome to be there.
With lots of people there from Mexico, a lot of Latinos, just generally. Population of Dallas is, very Hispanic, and and people love the Cowboys here in Mexico. Love the Cowboys, and they love the Steelers. So the turnout was pretty spectacular, and
I think it was probably to capacity as far as
as far as they could let people in.
Yeah, as far as what they allow.
And
Well, I think it's like 25% occupancy is what you said.
yeah, 25%. And what did we everyone was super friendly.
Everybody was friendly, like all our Uber drivers, which we caught a lot of that. So the locals, everybody wanted to chat about the game, and it was great. And we hung out at the bar a couple of nights in the hotel and met lots of other Steeler fans. And
Yeah. They had some kind of I think it was an exhibition series of things that they had for high school baseball players going on in the sports area there. So we had a lot of people staying for that, and it was interesting, what they had to say about what it's like to promote high school sports and trying to get your kid noticed and all that other stuff.
especially high school sports that aren't football.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
Texas is heavy into football.
Right. Oh yeah, it's like a religion here.
Yeah, I mean, they were telling us in Dallas, the high school teams get to play in the old Cowboys stadium during playoffs. Like, that's some big time stuff.
Oh no, it's the Rangers, the old Rangers.
No, the high school football teams.
Oh, that's
get to
right,
play,
in the
yeah.
Ranger Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, yeah.
So that's pretty incredible. And I was thinking back when I was in high school, and it's just kind of a muddy football field with a couple of goalposts.
Covered in snow.
Yeah, it was like not beautiful like things are today.
We had turf in my high school.
You did.
Yes.
Spoiled brat. Is it better to play on turf or grass?
Turf is more dangerous.
Yeah.
But it's always nice.
Yeah.
But it can be especially the old ass shitty turf, you can get, it would tend to hold on to people's feet too hard, and have not very much give. So you'd have more injuries typically on bad turf. Newer turf is a little better.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was a beautiful stadium, a beautiful experience, and we pulled out a win.
Not a beautiful game.
Right. No, it was ugly. And some fans we know, not us, but some fans we know, were so mad because the win just wasn't like complete enough. Like it wasn't fulfilling enough.
Well, we made mistakes, It's like we made mistakes. It's like we didn't show up to play. I think that we played down to them. And they had a good game. If they hadn't had, what was it, 6 calls against them in the second half, they would have definitely won.
And there was at least 2, I think, for 15 yards each.
Yeah.
I mean, we gained a lot of yards through penalties.
You can't get 6 penalties in a half and win a game.
And at the end of the day, and then Tomlin made a freaking very questionable call in the fourth quarter, and he didn't kick it, and he went for
he went for a yard to get the first down.
And instead of kicking it, and we would have had an 8-point lead if he would have kicked it, and we made it. But therein lies the rub, is that our special team guys were not playing well that night.
Not showing up. Boswell had missed 2-point. Our kicker had missed 2 extra points.
Yes.
2.
The very first he kicked, he missed.
It's
like, oh no, that's not good.
But then he turned around and kicked.
Before this, a
60-yard field goal.
A 60-yard field goal, but then he missed another one.
Yeah.
And they interviewed Tomlin. They're like, "Why did you make the call? Why did you go for the first down rather than kicking?" And he's like, he didn't have enough confidence in our special team, and the other special team was playing so
really well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They had already batted down one of our punts.
Yeah.
And they were playing great, and we were playing bad on special teams. So he was like, I made the call because I felt like that was the right thing to do, but he missed. And so they made it a 6-point game, right?
Yeah.
A 6-point game. And then the guys,
5-point.
5-point. Okay. 5-point game. Yeah. And then the Cowboys had last possession.
Yeah. They could have won with a touchdown.
They could have won with a touchdown, and we're all in the stands.
Why did you do that? And I said right there, it's like, well, because our kicking team has been inconsistent.
Yeah. Well, I was like, you don't know why Tomlin made that call.
Yeah.
He had his reasons.
Yeah.
And anyway, Cowboys had last possession, and they blew that at the very last play, and then it was time, and we pulled out a win.
24-19. Yeah.
And I tried to tell our friend, it's like, dude, at the end of the day, it's a W, and it doesn't matter how you got there.
Right. No, it doesn't matter if we blew them out.
Exactly.
If it's a close game, we suck. If we blow them away, it's what we're supposed to do, and we still suck.
Yeah.
And man, it's such a yinzer.
But also, we were on this was our 3rd game on a 3-game road trip.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like the guys
are playing the Titans and the Ravens.
And beating both of those guys.
On the road.
It was like.
You know who's number 1 power ranking right now for the Steelers? For the NFL?
Who?
Steelers.
Well, what do you mean power ranking?
Power ranking. It was considered the most powerful team in the NFL right now are the Steelers, and they've been that for 2 weeks in a row.
Okay.
And
well, I don't know who does that and how that's ranked.
Smart people. Smart people who know about power rankings.
With graphs and maps, charts.
Come on. Don't question people.
Fake news. No, I don't know. I really loved. I feel very happy and privileged that we got to go see that game.
Oh yeah,
it was like
we are so
special
lucky
to be there.
Yeah, we're so lucky.
It was special to be there, and now we just gotta. We'll be rooting for the Steelers from Cancun for the rest of this year. Well, from Playa del Carmen.
Yeah, from Playa del Carmen.
Unless they go to the Super Bowl.
Well, that's next year.
Then we'll get to see them one last time for this season.
Yeah, but we can't go to no Super Bowl.
We can't.
No.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, I mean.
Can you imagine?
No, it's so expensive. No, we're not going.
I know.
It's like.
But we said we go to Tampa and tailgate.
Yeah, we'll go to Tampa and tailgate.
We'll go to Tampa and tailgate.
And scuba dive.
And be able to do some scuba diving in the Tampa area.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's a plan. I mean, I don't know if it's a plan. They're expected to win the AFC. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, then we're going to go see the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
My first choice is to go to Vegas and watch it. But friends want to go to Tampa, so I'll go to Tampa. Hang out in the Super Bowl vibe. You kind of get it all over you.
Yeah.
You got to watch the game from, still on a television, but still.
But you know who they'll probably be playing in the Super Bowl?
I'm hoping the Saints.
Tampa.
I know that's what everybody's saying.
So.
But I'm giving this is the Lena good vibes.
Long story. Long story.
The Saints, I want them to play the Saints.
Yeah. Long story. So what else happened when we were in Dallas?
Well, the Steelers won. That's the most important thing. That's the second most important thing that happened this week behind the election results.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers won, and they didn't win big, but they're 8-0. And who did they have this week? The Bengals.
Yeah,
Bengals.
the
Bungles.
Mm-hmm.
The Bungles.
Yeah.
The Bungles on Sunday, so we'll be watching that.
From Ohio.
And they also have a Thanksgiving Day
Game.
They'll be playing Thanksgiving Day.
Ravens.
Yeah. We were thinking about doing a special Thanksgiving Day live stream, so maybe we'll work on that.
We were?
A happy Thanksgiving live stream. It's in my notes.
Okay.
I don't know if it was your idea or my idea. It was
I can do
my
that.
idea.
You know what? I can go and do my live stream with my shirt stained with gravy.
No, you do it before you eat.
Oh, okay. That's what everybody wants to see us for Thanksgiving. Hi.
Yes. Well, some people might.
Sure. I'm trying to think what a nice Thanksgiving outfit would be.
I don't know. I've
Beach appropriate.
actually never heard those
A beach
three
appropriate
words
Thanksgiving.
together.
Because
Nice Thanksgiving outfit.
well, you usually wear like a sweater.
Well, yeah, but we're not anywhere where it's
No,
cold.
never wear a sweater.
My sweater would be more like a tank vest with a turkey. I don't know. It's gonna be weird because we're gonna be here alone, and
Well, we have each
don't
other.
get me started.
We have each other.
We have each other.
Oh, Gail says that our trip looked awesome. Thank you. We had a fantastic time.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we enjoyed ourselves.
We enjoyed being in Dallas. We did a lot of other crap in Dallas too. We got our annual flu shot.
Yeah,
while we
that
were
was fun. Actually, it was effortless, but yeah, we got that done.
We got it done because you can't get the flu shots here in Mexico unless you're young, like a child, or elderly. So
Older than us.
más elderly.
Más elderly. Más anciano.
So for people like us, it's like, I don't know, they don't offer flu shots.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you're in a, group, at risk group. So we got it done at Walgreens.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We were there. And we got Amazoned up.
Yep. So the stuff that we can't get here from Amazon, we got delivered there.
Got there. So we walked in and we had a whole cart of packages. It was like Christmas in November.
I got myself a iPad Pro.
I know, and it's so pretty.
Thank you.
It takes really nice video.
It does.
It looks nice.
Yeah, got a nice iPad Pro.
So we're working our way towards being an Apple family again.
It sounds so lame.
We just have that. One item left is for Andy to get his iPhone, which
It'll be
he's
here
ordered.
next Tuesday. So
he got the new fancy pants iPhone.
Yay, Cowboys lost again. Boo. Not that sad though. Well, yeah.
I haven't been a Cowboy fan for a long time.
I always said that the Cowboys were my second favorite team just because I lived in Texas and everybody was rooting for them. But I never understood why people didn't root for the Texans because they were closer. I was living in San Antonio because they were actually closer than Dallas was.
Well, it's like what's his name? Ben says, the Dallas Cowboys are America's team, but the Steelers is the world's team.
He's such a jagoff.
And I love that because I'm like, that's right. We came all the way from Mexico to see the Steelers play.
Anyway. So, okay. Anyway, we already talked ad nauseum why the Cowboys are America's team anyway. So
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. We beat them.
we did. They beat us 4 years ago, which was the first. No, 5 years ago, which was our first.
It was our first live game.
Live game that you and I went to.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
In Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh, and they beat us.
Yeah.
And our friend cried and cried. It was terrible.
Yeah. So we won this time. She didn't cry. She didn't act happy. She was pretty stoic.
Yeah.
I think her knee was hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got our flu shots. We saw friends. So we had friends from San Antonio that joined us for the game, but also we have friends that moved from San Antonio to Dallas, so we got to see those guys.
Yeah.
But there were a few friends that we weren't able to connect with.
Right.
And plans got jumbled up over the last, couple days, but we were only there like 3 days, so it was hard to do everything.
Yeah, barely 3. So
Barely. We did get out on the last day with a quick trip to the grocery store so we could stock up on a few things we need here
yeah.
that you also can't get in Mexico.
Yeah, you can't get cornmeal here.
So we needed cornmeal. We did our Thanksgiving Day menu, and you got to have cornmeal for cornbread dressing. I mean, hello.
Yeah.
So we went and got a couple of boxes of cornmeal. You can get polenta here, and then you can try to like grind it down to cornmeal, but we've tried that a few times, and sometimes with varying success anyway.
Have you done it in the food processor?
I don't know if we've done it in the Cuisinart.
Yeah.
I think I've tried it in the
blender. I think the Cuisinart might do it better, but it doesn't matter because we have cornmeal now.
We have cornmeal, and that was of utmost importance because we need cornmeal for our dressing.
Yes.
And then we got a couple cans of cranberry sauce,
Yep.
which I love. I have to have with my turkey.
Yeah, turkeys you can get here. So turkeys.
And we couldn't smuggle one in.
No.
So we got you some, couple things we got for you is some Stubbs barbecue.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't get great barbecue sauce here. It's like,
Well, I can make great barbecue sauce.
you can make great barbecue sauce, but your
Sometimes
barbecue sauce, you're always trying to knock off Stubbs.
No, I'm knocking off Rudy's.
Oh, Rudy's barbecue sauce. Well, now that you have the Stubbs, you can see if you can like hit that.
Yeah, I got Stubbs.
And Tony Chachery's.
Yeah, Tony Chachery's Cajun seasoning.
Yeah.
Creole seasoning, actually.
So if anybody comes and visits us, you can bring Stubbs barbecue sauce, Tony Chach, and maybe some cornmeal.
Yeah.
Those are 3 things we miss that you can't buy here, and you can't get it on Amazon either.
No.
Well, you can get cranberry sauce on Amazon, but you got to order like a crate of cans.
Yeah.
We're like, I don't know. I love this stuff, but maybe that's too much.
We don't need that much cranberry sauce. Nobody needs that much cranberry sauce.
It's not good for you. It's not like
Salvation Army needs that much cranberry sauce. Donate to the Salvation Army this year, folks. I'm sure that they're in serious need.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But more like tuna and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tuna and peanut butter are great donation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They keep for a long time, and they're very nutritious. But I'm sure there's going to be more need this year than ever before. So please reach out.
So the only bad thing that happened on our Dallas trip was our stay at the Marriott.
Well, it was a Sheraton, but it's now owned by Marriott.
Yes, it was a Sheraton hotel close to the stadium, but owned by Marriott. And we didn't realize like all the crap that's happening in the hotel industry in the United States right now. I mean, we've been really spoiled because we've been going and staying places here in Mexico, but this is a lot different than what's happening in the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it comes to no surprise to anybody who's been staying in hotels in the United States, probably because you have to, right? Because you're traveling out of necessity mostly. But they don't make up your room. So your room, there's no housekeeping during your stay.
No housekeeping. I was like, what?
We're going to have to live in our own filth for 3 days?
Who is making this bed?
Not I.
Well, nobody's making the bed. Nobody's taking out the garbage.
Yeah.
Our friend said he had to go down and get his own toilet paper in the middle of the night.
Yeah. That's an uncomfortable walk.
I know. He was like, well, those guys were staying at a different hotel down the road from us.
And they weren't doing any housekeeping anywhere.
They weren't doing any housekeeping.
Not even
either.
the front of the house.
No, well, they called down in the middle of the night, and the guy's like, I'm the only person at the desk, and I don't have anybody to send it up. You're going to have to come get it. I was like, that's horrifying.
Yeah. It's a good thing it was him because he probably took it in stride.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he wasn't as freaked out as I would be. But anyway, yeah, so no housekeeping in the United States. If you're traveling in the United States and you're thinking about staying in a hotel, just be aware that that's happening. And there is no warning.
No disclosure whatsoever.
Get, like an email that says, hey, these are the circumstances. Or when we checked in, they weren't like, I read, just so you know.
I read that policy that they had. It was so circumspect.
Oh, yeah?
The way that they worded it. It's like, oh, there's adequate, sufficient and excellent housekeeping be provided before and after your stay.
Yeah, before and after. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And, I know our room was not especially clean.
Right.
You can look and tell.
Sure.
Like, some things are like a little bit dusty. Not, they were like in the bathroom, like that deal where there's like 2 or 3 like long curly hairs, and I'm like, I know that's not my hair. I know that's not your hair. So I know this bathroom wasn't clean spectacularly.
Right. Well,
So
it's like
they're not doing any extra special cleaning between guests, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, the way that it goes is that you have these hotel chains, all the hotel chains, right, that have very, very highly paid executives at their heads, and they made basically no money for like 4 months out of the year.
Yeah.
But these people have like fucking yacht payments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they have to make sure that
They get their bonus.
they get their bonus because their kid has to stay in writing lessons.
So if they don't have to pay people to come and clean your room every day, which, okay, if that's the policy, just let me know when I check in so they can tell you if you need something, let us know.
Or I could be less reckless with the way I treat the room.
Right? You were like, I would have taken better care of my towel.
I would have taken better care of my towel. I mean,
So-
I'm like throwing it around as you do.
Like I use mine as like a big giant rug in the bathroom
Yeah.
after I use it.
You don't even want to know what I use mine for.
So I don't. So the next day, after we stayed the night, we went out that morning and started running errands. And then we came back in at like 1 and the room's not made. So I call down and I say, hey, the room hasn't been made up. We were out all morning. So please make sure it gets made up this afternoon. We're leaving again in about an hour. And they're like, oh, we're not doing that. And I'm like they're gone for the day or like what?
Yeah.
You're not doing what? What's not happening right here?
Because I left the room early, so the room could get made up. So I know that sometimes they want to come early so they can do an extra good job. And
so she's like, we're not doing
You're not doing it right now? Because I can leave again.
I'm like, well, we were leaving again. That's why I called to let them know we were leaving again and they can come now. And she's like, no, we're not doing that. And so then I tried to get to the bottom of that. And she's like, we don't have housekeeping services. And I go, oh, I said, okay. She said, just tell me what you need and we'll bring it up.
So I need a housekeeper.
Okay, well, I need. I said, well, we're gonna need more regular coffee, and this is the regular coffee thing. More regular coffee. We're gonna need a new set of towels and somebody to make the bed. And she's like, oh, we're not doing that. And I'm like, you're not making the bed? And she's like, no, we are not making beds, but I can bring you the things that you need. And I go, okay, well, how about change the sheets? Can you bring sheets and change the sheets? And she's like, we can bring you sheets, but we can't change them. And I'm just going, wow, this is craziness. But I just give in, right? And I go, okay, just bring me regular coffee. I'm going to need like 6 regular coffees and a set of towels. So anyway, every time we asked for coffee, we got decaf coffee. And then you do things like, okay, so after like a couple of days, I called down and I'm like, hey, our garbage cans are full. What should we do? And she's like, well, just put them outside and we'll come and empty them. Well, we put them outside and then they came and took them away. I didn't bring any more. So I start building like little trash piles around.
Well, we had the Amazon box that we did a good job.
The Amazon box got full fast. But I start building like little piles of like trash around to kind of keep it all
to
together.
be disposed of.
But that was just the weirdest thing. I feel like we're spoiled in Mexico.
Well, I just don't want it to be like one of those things that when things normalize, it's like, oh, we're happy to announce the return of our housekeeping service. And our housekeeping service is going to be just a little shittier, but you're just glad you have it. You know what I mean?
They're not bringing it back.
Yeah,
dude.
like we're not. Yeah, that's probably a really good point. It's like people got used to having no housekeeping. Let's just like do that.
Yeah, no.
It's like with the airlines,
what's gonna
right?
happen from now on? Every time you want housekeeping, it's going to be an extra charge.
It's like we'll be happy to provide you with housekeeping for
We'll
$50
clean your
a day.
room for 2 times a day if you want. It's
Yeah.
going to be $50 for each cleaning.
Yeah.
Then you start rationing out. How long can I go without housekeeping?
Yeah. And then they start building it in so that the room is really uncomfortable if you don't get it cleaned. You know,
Yeah.
like you don't get a trash can, and you know they provide you with less towels.
Well, it was very uncomfortable this last time. Like everything was just so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, if I was an executive,
they really
I
need
would.
to be managing expectations.
And if I was an executive, I'd have a really hard time, like foregoing that money.
Can you imagine that line item?
Yeah.
If you're a freaking 200 room hotel.
Yep.
And you're paying a staff every day to go in and clean every room.
Right.
And the cost of not having to do that anymore, even
Yeah, just cut it back to 50%, say.
Oh, more.
Well, I mean, most people stay for like 1 night, 2 nights, right? So.
I don't know what. I think because we stayed in a convention hotel, so I think that most people that go and stay there are staying
3, 4
multiple nights.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
So yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't even imagine what that line item savings is by not providing their guests with cleaning service. Crazy time. So anyway, if you're traveling in the United States and you're staying in a hotel, I mean, ask them what the policy is.
Yeah.
A friend of ours said that that's not a Marriott policy, that's a CDC policy.
And I'm like, well, is that it? Oh, okay. So, there. Yeah. Yay, Steelers, Gail said, and love you. Thank you very much, Gail. You're so sweet.
Hi, Gail.
But oh my gosh, but the people keep on talking about what the new normal is going to look like. That's it. I guess that was the most screwed up one of the new normals that I've heard.
For us,
I'd rather, I can put up with the past.
I can tell you there are going to be some people that are getting housekeeping services because the Marriott also owns the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me the people staying at the Ritz-Carlton aren't getting their beds made every day.
Yeah, there's a workaround.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's probably that what they're doing is they're starting and stopping the reservations every day. So it was a new reservation. Yeah, we got new reservation, 1 reservation per day.
Maybe that's what you do.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'll have the
Just move all your crap every day.
Yeah, just move all your crap. No,
At 3 o'clock every day, you just move.
Well, you check in. It's like, oh, you have like 5 reservations for 5 nights. It's like, yeah.
I want a clean room every day.
Can I get them all in the same room, please?
They're not gonna let you. Well, the lady was like, I'm very sure you're upset, but that is the Marriott policy.
Like, I'm not upset. I am confused.
I'm in a dirty room. And I'm like looking around this room and I'm like, I'm gonna be here for 4 more days.
Yeah. I'm not upset. I'm sitting in a dirty room confused. Could you understand the difference?
Oh my gosh. That's just wild times. So that is probably going to be the new normal. So I told her, I said, in the last 9 months, I have stayed in a lot of hotels and I've never had one refuse to make my bed.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been a lot of restrictions implemented. I have never heard of like, we cannot provide you with maid service.
Yeah.
But there you go. Go Steelers.
Go Steelers.
I bet they make the bed for the Steelers.
Well, they only showed up for 1 night.
They're like, we're going home.
Yeah. They fly in the night before.
Yeah.
Right? They fly in the night before. They play that day and they leave that evening.
I wonder where they stay when they're in Dallas.
I don't know.
Oh, we should find that out. Well, it's going to be 8 more years before they're in Dallas again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be in Dallas in 8 more years.
Yeah. I think they stay. I have no idea.
I don't know. I wonder where they'll be staying in Tampa. That's where you tailgate.
I wonder how many of them will be staying at Tom Brady's house. If you know what I'm saying.
None of them.
Oh, you're no fun.
Oh, that's going to be a lifelong. I don't know. I know what you're saying. I wonder if Brown's still there.
Sure he is.
You got a nice place there, Tom Brady.
You got a nice place here, Tom Brady. Tom Brady, this is a great place you have. Your wife makes great flapjacks,
Yeah.
Tom Brady. He calls him Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You know.
In my mind, he does.
It's like, hey, Tom Brady. Hey, Tom Brady. Do you have an extra pair of slippers?
Hey, Tom Brady, I'm going to do some laps in the pool. Want to join me?
You want to join me? Your floor's cold. It's Tampa, huh? Cold floor. Slippers?
I wonder if he goes out to the park with Tom Brady.
Oh, to Tom Brady's park?
No, you know that park that Tom Brady got caught in?
Yes. Fully clothed? Alone?
Wow, I don't know. It's funny. I'm so excited about the Steelers. I'm looking forward to next Sunday and like the whole rest of the season. I'm just excited about that. And then what else are we doing the rest of this year? And I thought about this today, but I didn't mention it to you. But we've got to carve out some time before the end of the year to set our 2021 goals, because we haven't done that yet. We usually do that in November. So we got some. I've already been starting to dream mine up.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want any goals.
Goals. 2021 goals. 2021 goals. Yay! You're gonna have goals.
I don't want any goals.
Goals.
I already made goal weight. I should have like 5 years off.
No, you don't get 5 years off. But your goals could be easy. They don't have to be hard.
It can be?
Yes.
All right.
Like go to Tampa for the Super Bowl. That's a goal.
I was supposed to get my master scuba diver certification in 2020, and I have not finished that.
Well, that's up to you. That was not on our list of goals.
It was
for
not
this
on the
year.
list. It was a casual goal. That was a casual
Yeah.
goal.
Well, if it's not on the list, it's not going to happen.
Right.
We made all of our 2020 goals except for the triathlon
Right.
goal, because they canceled all of them.
Right. And they're hard.
And I bet you are so glad they canceled those.
Well, you know what? I think that if it was a situation where it looked like something was going to kind of sort of, everything was very up in the air, you must admit.
Absolutely. From March on.
And I wasn't fully, I'm still not fully satisfied with the whole bike situation that's involved with the triathlon.
Mostly for you, it's the getting out and getting in with the bike.
Yeah.
Taking the bike out. Riding the bike is not hard.
Yeah.
You just don't like the process of moving the bike in and out of
I don't like the process of moving. But yes.
Got to move it.
I do have to.
Got to move it. There you go. You can do couch Zumba. Very Muppety of you.
So.
Like when we grabbed the beers and ran away.
That was funny.
So we got to do our 2021 goals this for next year.
Okay.
And sometime this month. So we'll carve out some time to do that. Maybe, yeah.
I gotta think of like one thing I want to do. I can't really think of anything, but I'll think of something.
Well, maybe it's getting your advanced, because, getting your master's, scuba diving.
Yeah, but that's super non-ambitious, because that's just one more specialty and I'm done.
Yeah, but obviously it is, because you didn't finish it this year.
No, I wanted to make sure you got as many dives as possible this year, and I knew that if I went and started dorking around with the specialty, it would get in the way.
I want to get a few more dives in this year.
Okay.
Just recreational. And then next year I want to set a goal for myself for my advanced.
Okay.
My advanced certification. Is it called the Advanced Open Water?
Advanced open water.
Yeah. That's going to be, I know you wanted me to do it this year.
Yeah.
This year got too crazy, and there were whole chunks of this year that we couldn't even dive.
Yeah, and you're out doing 3-mile swims or 2-mile open water swims already, so you're achieving like nuts. So that's cool.
Wow. Yeah, but that wasn't even a goal.
No, I know.
That was just, I got to do something to stay sane. So the goal was the triathlon. That's why I started swimming so much this year, was to get the swimming part of the triathlon down. But I've kind of like fallen into that as far as like really loving it.
Wow,
Like
that's really cool.
but I haven't been running. I haven't been running at all, so there's that part. So we'll see how it all goes in 2021. But I don't think in 2021 triathlon's going to be on my list.
Okay.
I think I'm going to have other goals.
I guess that's
Because running here is just for the freaking birds.
Well, it's hot.
It's so hot. I'm like, it's so hot, even though it's not hot right now. But I think about how, oh my God, I just remember like the summertime, just like, hot. So if you can't get in the water, it's like you're screwed. Running on land, you can't run in the water, you can swim, but running on land is just like unbearable in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a treadmill runner. I'm just
that's boring.
Oh my God, it's the worst. I did it when I was younger, but I don't know if I was able to like zone out easier or what. What was the deal?
It's like you're able to tap down the crazy.
No, I can't tap down the crazy so much. I just get on the treadmill.
And your brain just starts eating itself. It was like what was it that the comedian said? Oh, I forget his name. Anyway, we used to like him a lot. Oh, Doug Stanhope.
Oh, I do love Doug.
Yeah, it's like, do you have one of those brains that just goes?
Doug does.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of his comedy lately.
Yeah, me neither. Hope he's okay. Just looks like he's a death store all the time.
Well, yeah, he's like a 30-year-old guy that looks like he's 130.
He's more like 50, but yeah.
Well, maybe now,
Yeah.
but I mean, I started listening to him a long time ago.
It's Doug Stanhope? No, Doug.
Yeah, Doug Stanhope. Yeah.
Oh, Doug Benson is the other one, right? Okay.
Yeah, Doug Benson, but he's not as funny as Doug Stanhope.
No, he's not as funny as Doug.
Yeah, Doug Stanhope's humor is really sharp.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of George Carlin. Kind of has like only George Carlin's even better, but.
Well, Doug's subversive, like Carlin is, right? So.
Well, so
2021 goal setting and planning.
Yeah.
That sounds like a to-do item.
That is a to-do item.
All right.
And you're like, I want to put it on my
things to think about.
You don't have a things to think about list.
I don't.
You lie.
I have an iPad. I have an iPad. I take all kinds of notes on it.
Right? But it's not a ThinkPad.
No, it's not a ThinkPad. I got a ThinkPad too. I got an iPad.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is a ThinkPad. Wait, is this a ThinkPad?
You use them when you're wearing your maxi pad.
Yeah, I don't wear a maxi pad. This is a note.
I don't know. You have more electronics than any one person should have.
Yeah, I got my
That's his fancy switcher.
my switcher back. Hello.
So
I got the USB booster.
Press the button that shows if we want to take a break.
Right, but it's going to turn the audio off, right? Just so you know.
Okay.
Okay, so
Give us 2 seconds. Ha! We're right back.
Wasn't that magical?
Yes.
That's so magical.
I'm gonna need one of those buttons in case, I need to turn the audio off for a minute.
Well, we can't have 2 of these. We can only. Well, I guess we could have 2.
Ha ha! 2021 goals.
Oh, this is another thing that this thing does. Is like, so if you're like ever say here's something that's outrageous, you don't like it, you just go.
Ladies and gentlemen, for fuck's sake.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, it just cussed at the audience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're still thinking about a Thanksgiving special, and I made that up. Wait.
Thanksgiving special. I'm into it.
Dardar and Andy show Thanksgiving special. We hope you join us, but we have still one more week.
One more week, yeah. And our Thanksgiving special will be after we come back from a short vacation.
Yes, a short vacation. We need a vacation from our vacation.
I came back very rested from the Dallas trip.
From the Dallas trip, I slept until 11 today, and that is literally the latest I've slept in literally years. I haven't slept that late, and it felt so good. We didn't get in until 1 this morning. Yesterday morning, we got in at
12. Oh, the flight landed at late.
Late, and then we were 50 minutes away from the airport, and then we got in and chillaxed for about an hour, and then went to bed. So about 1.
Yeah, about 1.
But I slept late today. It felt good.
I feel great. Are you ready to sign off?
I think I'm ready to sign off. Oh, we've been on an hour 5.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody has a great week. I hope everybody enjoys
on
their
trucking.
relaxation. Do some meditation, some yoga, get your mind straight, get ready for a whole new year.
Do not concede, Trump. Do not concede.
Do your
Hold out.
2021 planning.
You're making me so
Let it
happy by not
go.
conceding.
Let it go.
So happy. So happy. I'm just eating it up.
He's fucking embarrassing, man.
Eating it up.
Well, we'll see. I'm not. I'm like, it's not even all happening. It's not even all happening. I'm not even gonna pay any attention again until next year. My wildest dream came true. And I'm like, I'm happy. La 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 la. I'm like dancing on clouds.
Wildest dream?
And nobody can bring me down.
Okay. So stay safe.
Stay safe and
Wear a mask.
Be good to each other.
Donate to Salvation Army
Mend fences.
or your local charity that provides food for the needy for this Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Because I don't know how they're going to do it with social distancing, but
Yeah.
just imagine how difficult it's going to be this year.
Think about how you can make Thanksgiving special this year.
Yeah.
Because it will be special. I mean, it's a lot to be thankful for.
Definitely.
And, yeah.
Make your
It's been a rough year, and it's like we're hoping for better times ahead. So thank you guys for joining us, chit-chatting and jawing and whatnot, and we hope to see you again next Tuesday
we love you.
at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you want to check out any past episodes, you can tune into the Presently Somewhere YouTube account.
Yep. Channel.
Subscribe to that. And until next time,
We'll be live streaming there as well next episode, I hope.
we hope we'll
We
work
hope.
on it. So we love you guys. And until next week, everybody stay okay.
Okay.